Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having a good day so far because today we're going to be talking about why it is impossible to cancel James Charles. This is part of an ongoing mini-series that I have here on my channel, sort of inspired by Tiffany Ferg's Internet Analysis series, in which I take different really prominent beauty gurus who have had their fair share of drama and I talk about why it is impossible to cancel them. I will say that it is really impossible to cancel anybody because you will always have people who really adore any one person that you're talking about on the internet. But in this series, I want to delve a little bit deeper and talk about specific reasons why I believe certain people are just impossible to cancel and why. I have like this notebook in here like that's full of video ideas and like outlines that I've been using lately, and this is like my page that has a whole bunch of stuff on it. But canceling James Charles. The first reason that I wrote down is it's impossible to cancel James Charles because of stan culture. Now, if you don't know what stan culture is, I barely know what it is, so please forgive me if I screw this up. Stan culture is basically when you have a certain amount of people who literally love a person so much that they will forgive whatever and anything that this person says or does because they stan that person or they stand for that person. I think that's how that term was coined. I have no idea. I'm just trying to guess here. In virtually every single genre of YouTube, creators have people, especially if they have big audiences, who stan them. They have people who will literally forgive anything and everything that they will do. We have seen this with Jaclyn Hill, we have seen this with Jeffree Star, and we most definitely see it with James Charles. But James Charles, in my opinion, is quite unique in this sense because he is somebody who has a largely younger audience. A lot of YouTubers such as Logan Paul, Jake Paul, I guess David Dobrik, and James Charles, the Dolan twins, they have young fans, and also, who else? The Martinez twins. I'm literally just spouting like random people's names. I don't even watch these people, but I've seen like suggested videos and I've watched a few videos about all these people who like do all this stuff, and some of it is just like downright terrible, and still like people are in the comment section, young people, and they're really just like standing this person, and they're just saying that like I will follow you no matter what, I will be your fan no matter what, basically. And you can kind of tell that these people are younger based on misspellings, based on their vocabulary. You can really tell that a lot of people, and James Charles is one of them, really have young, impressionable fans. And it has been shown that audiences who are younger tend to spend more money on any given influencer. Older audiences don't necessarily tend to buy the merch, they don't necessarily tend to buy the meetup tickets, but younger audiences do. And James Charles's fans who stan James Charles obviously spend money on him. So that's just like in my mind proof that his stan culture is like just so large, and the fact that he has so many millions of subscribers. I mean, the scandal with Tati, it did make a sizable dent in his numbers, but it didn't make a very big one when you think about how many more people actually really do like love him pretty much. And by the way, I feel like it's worth it talking in this video a little bit, just touching on the scandal that happened with James Charles, Jeffree Star, and Tati, but I especially want to talk about James Charles and Tati Westbrook. And I don't want to really delve into this too much, but I really do feel like Julia Mazzucato, a fellow micro-influencer, said this the best. That whole entire scandal, that whole entire debacle was a product of two adults who literally could not sit down and have a mature adult conversation. So essentially, I don't think anybody is necessarily in the right here and anybody is in the wrong. I am not here to say that, oh yeah, this is true or this is not true. I'm just trying to talk to you guys about whether or not James Charles can be canceled. And I do feel that James Charles's fan base is literally so young, and so many people really do look up to him in such an obsessive way almost, that it just benefits him greatly in this situation because he still has people who will do everything to meet him. They will do everything to buy his product, and that is great for him because in a sense, he doesn't necessarily have to make much of a change for people to still find him absolutely amazing, if that makes any sense. Also, James Charles, in my opinion, like, he rose up so quickly. Like, I was watching him, I was like basically following him on Instagram when he had like a few tens of thousands of followers, when he was tiny, and that was when his makeup skills, to be honest, they weren't all that great even. He improved greatly, but I was following him when he was like this tiny, and then I quickly saw how big his celebrity grew in honestly such a short span of time. He so quickly like just gained so many subscribers, he gained so much wealth, he gained so much like influence, and I feel like that just made him too powerful to fall. And see, the thing is, I think with these larger influencers, with these larger YouTubers, even with like celebrities, and I don't necessarily want to equate YouTubers with celebrities because I feel like they are like on a different tier than your typical celebrity, but I definitely feel that sometimes you have people in a certain space, in any space, that are too powerful to fall. And it really takes a lot for them to fall. And I think that James Charles, no matter what has been discovered about him, no matter what he has said, no matter what he has done, he is too powerful to fall. That combined with the fact that he has such a young fan base, such like a young set of impressionable fans, that makes him really powerful. And in that case, like, I don't think he can be canceled because of those two things combined. In addition to this, I feel that James Charles has established time and time again that he does have good content for those people that are willing to view it. He is talented in a sense. He is not the most talented makeup artist out there, but he does appear to be quite talented. He does have the tendency to create really beautiful and remarkable looks, and I feel like that is a small part of what makes him difficult to cancel, because he actually has talent, and he might not have as much talent as you might think just by seeing his Instagram, because he is known to really spend a lot of time editing his photos, but if you watch his videos, if you see how much time and how much energy he devotes into making this content, he has talent, and he knows how to talk in front of a camera, and he knows how to be entertaining for his core audience. Do I find James Charles entertaining? Not really whatsoever. I literally do not, because I find that his content, I like the tutorials that he does, but like his content as a whole, I don't really find a lot of value in it, so I don't necessarily like to watch him. But to somebody who is in his demographic, to somebody who is in that younger demographic, to somebody who isn't necessarily as like technically driven as I am, I guess, he is everything, and he is so entertaining, and he's so amazing, and he is like wonderful to watch on screen. And that is something that you will hear me say consistently throughout this entire series. The people who are very difficult to cancel are the people who are entertaining, and they are the people that give value to the viewer when they're being watched. I don't think that James Charles's value is as educational as some other creators, but it has been proven multiple times that right now YouTube, the content that most people watch on YouTube, it doesn't necessarily have to be educational to be valuable. It just has to be entertaining. And many of us have different views of entertaining content. We have different opinions, but specifically for James Charles's audience, his audience finds his content incredibly entertaining, and that's why he has so many views, and that's why he has such a large presence, because of his brand, because of the way he speaks, because of the way he does his videos. That is entertaining to so many people. Another thing that really makes me realize just how difficult James Charles is to cancel is the fact that when you compare James Charles to every single large beauty guru out there, he sticks out as James Charles. He is so unique, you can't find anybody like him. His personality, his way of doing things, his mannerisms, his content, his makeup style. Why is that fan so loud? That is annoying. But all this propels him so much because in a lot of cases, the people that we see fall the hardest are the people that are replaceable. There are several YouTubers that I will not mention in this video, but they fell really hard, and I do not think that they are able to successfully gain the following that they had before because of the fact that they were, in the end, replaceable. And yes, everybody's replaceable. We all understand this, but some people are more irreplaceable than others, and James Charles happens to be very irreplaceable. And I definitely do think, and this might be an unpopular opinion, and this is just my theory. I think that the fact that he does so many colorful and so many creative makeup looks really keeps people watching and really fuels his irreplaceability, if you will. Because if you look at most of the larger influencers that are on this space at the moment, that are on YouTube, that are on Instagram, the people that have the most followers are the people that don't necessarily have like much variation in their makeup looks. They typically have like this particular branding of being ultra glamorous, being ultra snatched, being ultra beautiful. They usually go on all these trips, they usually wear really neutral, really like typical looking makeup. And my theory is, and this might be an unpopular one, but my theory is that James Charles, the fact that he has his own specific brand, the fact that he has his own specific makeup style, which is so different from the typical large cookie cutter YouTuber. Seriously, like the fact that he does so many colorful and truly unique looking makeup looks, and I'm saying unique looking because if you just scratch the surface of YouTube drama and just look up something along the lines of James Charles copies small influencer, you will get a lot of results because, in my opinion, I think that he is notorious for copying smaller influencers, for taking smaller influencers' work and passing it off as his original work. And he has been called out multiple times on this, and that's like an entirely different topic. But regardless of whether or not he is truly ripping people off, essentially he is creating makeup looks that in the space of larger influencers look more unique than what anybody else is putting out, and he's making content that in that space is a great deal more unique than what his fellow larger mega beauty gurus are publishing. So that is it for my video. That is pretty much all I have to say about James Charles and why I think he is impossible to cancel. I don't necessarily have a very strong opinion of James Charles at this point, and I know that my opinion is probably wildly unnecessary, especially in this sort of video, but I mean, I still have his, his pressed pigments palette from Morphe, and it's a good palette. I don't think it's the best palette in my collection by far, but it's a good palette, and you will be seeing a lot of makeup looks with this palette right here, because here's my thing, and I will be doing another video sort of along the lines of this. I don't think that the average consumer or the average viewer has to restrict themselves merely because somebody else can't make the best decisions. I think that makeup is makeup, and it is yours to enjoy however you see fit. And that's why I do not necessarily like to stop using makeup products on my channel if they come from more controversial brands. Sometimes I use less of those makeup products, but on the whole, I mean, like, this particular palette is a glaring example. I don't think I will necessarily stop using it because it's a good one. It's like a really great one, I think, in my opinion. And if you're somebody that loves color and loves dabbling in sort of neutral shades as well, this is a good one. And James Charles has proven time and time again through many of his promotional looks on his YouTube channel and Instagram that you can literally use this palette to create whatever you want. So anyway, that is the completed video on why I think James Charles is impossible to cancel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, but of course keep it civil. We all have our own opinions. I definitely do not think that all of you guys have the same opinions that I do when it comes to James Charles. I know a lot of you have his palette, and I am curious to know what you think of cancel culture and what you think of my reasoning behind this video. Let me know in the comments below, and let's have a conversation down there. But that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.